Are you going to be flying with your baby soon?
This video is for you.
Our daughter has gone on
18 flights.
and she just turned 1. But we have so much to share with you on how to make your time at the airport and on the airplane smooth flying.
We're Jenna and Jeremy with Quench Your Adventure. Let's get into it. I got baby snot on my hoodie. I'm qualified, okay? First things first, you're walking into the airport, and unless you have carry-on only luggage,
Which that's not true because you got a baby.
Used to be us, not anymore, but you're going to the check-in counter for your airline. Quick note, for our 5-week Europe trip we did when baby was 5 to 6 months old last year, we did have only personal items and carry-ons, and as long as we had all of our mobile boarding passes beforehand, we did skip the check-in counters because we were using a car seat stroller combo at the time, which we were able to gate check.
When you get to the check-in counter, you're going to have options to check your stroller and check your car seat for free.
Right,
Almost
we've never paid for
all
that.
All airlines do that.
And we rarely would check the stroller. We would usually keep that to use it through the airport.
All the way until the plane.
But you would need a tag so that you can gate check it. It just means that when you check in, they'll give you a little tag to put on it so that later when you're at the gate, you hand it to them, they put it on, they give it to you when you get back off the plane.
But with the car seat, if we didn't buy her a seat, then we still need the car seat for when we land, and we're going to just give them at the counter. Just take it so we don't have to carry stuff.
Tip, buy just a cheap travel car seat.
Don't use your $350 one because something could happen.
But still, it's helpful to have
Stroller
a bag,
bags,
bag for both your stroller and your car seat to at least minimize the chance they get damaged.
And you can shove a few more diapers, wipes, and onesies and those things just to have.
We even once put a pack and play inside of a stroller bag instead of a stroller, and it worked. We got away with it.
You usually get 2 items. And when it comes to an ID, they'll say who's baby, who's flying.
Every airline is different, but you should have a physical copy of the birth certificate or a passport for your baby.
Now it's time for security, TSA, the part that stresses people out, but you don't need to be. 2 ways to get your baby through security.
If you're baby wearing and your baby's asleep, they will most likely let you walk through as long as you have nothing else on you.
If your baby's in the stroller, they're going to ask you to remove baby. Stroller needs to go through the scanner, or some agent will take it around and scan it themselves.
And they're going to check every inch of that
So
stroller.
then Jeremy and I have walked through with our baby just holding her.
Some airports have a family-specific TSA line or security line.
Which can be helpful.
We have TSA pre-check thanks to one of the Chase travel credit cards that we have. Feel free to comment if you want more info on that.
Yeah.
We also recently heard of something called TSA Cares that we have not used, but if you have, let us know. We really need to look into it.
When it comes to milk, water, formula, squeezy pouches, yogurts, applesauces,
you can bring whatever you need to feed your baby within reason.
No size limit. A cooler filled of all the things that they would need. They will check it themselves and make sure there's nothing bad, and it might take a few extra minutes.
Recently, this did almost bite us in the butt. I had milk that they were checking. It set off some weird alarm. They wanted me to go back through security. I had just tied my shoes, and I no longer had baby with us because I let Jenna
changing Callie.
They didn't believe me that I had a baby.
So make sure baby is present. I have heard people talk about bringing breast milk from when they pumped when they didn't have their child and they're trying to bring it home. Usually they're okay with an exception like that if you speak up front. Another thing is people should go on the TSA website, screenshot it. You don't need service to have that anymore, and show it anytime someone gives you some form of issue.
And allot yourself some extra time for all this.
Now you've gotten through security and it's time to wait until the planing.
Always go to your gate first just to make sure it's the right gate. They haven't changed something.
And if you have a crawler or a walker, let them be free and let them roam and get those wiggles out.
Make sure you change their diaper as soon as they begin boarding or right before you get on the plane.
Typically, we like to board last.
Giving Callie more time to exercise.
Right. Why put her in our lap any longer?
I will say it was a lot easier before she moved.
100%. 6 months and under, fly with them. Whew.
Yeah.
I will say that most diaper bags fly free dependent on your airline. We've never paid for a
paid
diaper bag.
As you're scanning your boarding pass, this is when you would be gate checking the stroller. Most likely, they'll tell you to walk it to the end of the tunnel or whatever and leave it right there.
In places like the US, you get the stroller right when you land and right when you get off the plane.
But a lot of other places, that wasn't the case. It ended up on the carousel.
You had to go miles before you could get your stroller back for your kid. That's hard carrying them. And don't forget an extra onesie in that bag because they might be pooping on you.
Maybe even an extra shirt for yourself.
And he got pooped on too. And let us know if you're interested in a video about
window, aisle, or middle seat. I mean, no one likes a middle seat, so it's mostly the window or aisle with a baby.
With a baby, what's better? Yeah.
We've even heard people who do a window and then the window in front, and they just pass the baby back and forth. You're on the plane, about to take off. What do you do?
Make sure you have your baby sucking on something. A booby, a bottle, or a pacifier to help with their ears. And some people say they like to use the earmuffs to help.
We haven't used any, but we've heard good things.
And when it comes to baby wearing on an airplane, there is a lot of controversy, and there shouldn't be. It is very clear on the website.
You technically can only wear your baby when you're at the cruising altitude, so not during takeoff or touchdown landing, and when the seatbelt sign is not
with turbulence. We were told, sir, go sit down. You can't wear your baby in the carrier. And she made Jeremy sit down when he was getting her for a nap. And that was not fair. That was not true. I should have had the screenshot while midair to show her, sorry, but this is actually the rules.
Right. And I think the explanation is like during turbulence, they don't want you to wear your baby. I guess because if there were really dramatic height changes with the plane, something with the pressure, and it could, affect how tight it is and they're breathing. So when you're smooth cruising, you can wear your baby.
Right. And how to keep your baby entertained. If they're under 6 months old, food and smiling and giggling. When they're above and they're walking, they're crawling and they're moving and they're bouncing on your bladder and they're hand punching faces you and their elbow.
We're lucky. We're lucky that we've always been able to fly together. We see plenty of people doing this solo, and we salute you. That's amazing.
Stickers have been helpful. Those spinny toys on the window.
They're going to find random stuff too, like a plastic cup,
plastic bottle, like some of your toiletries. What I think you should do is buy a few toys small with it they've never seen. Go to the dollar store, and it's like, whoa, like she's never played with a toy car. She loved this new toy car, and it was $1.
Recently, when we flew, we had this attachable hammock thing. It basically attaches to like the tray table.
I'll show you a video.
And the seat, and then you have
It made like a canopy for her for not to like fall in between the seats. Area. And then another thing we bought was like a tray table cover where it makes the tray larger inside, so we could put toys and stuff, and it has a little strap on the bottom to connect it. Bubble gum. She loved the bubble gum that I was chewing while we were flying, and I just kept doing bubbles in her face.
And the truth is, they're going to cry sometimes, and you just have to do everything you can, and don't worry about all the other people.
And the engine is so loud that it's just a constant white noise sound anyway. The aisle walking, we love that. Come on, Callie, we're going on a walk. And she looks and waves to every person, and people are oohing and awing, and she's a model.
Expect that your baby is going to make a messy diaper like immediately. Every time, I swear, that the plane starts to take off and we can no longer get out of our seats, that's when she decides
Jeremy's
to go.
On stress mode, on dad mode. He's like, Jenna, game on. We're not letting her get diaper rash. No poops allowed. I give him credit. He'll get up when you're not supposed to because he wants to protect the wound.
Well, within reason. If you're actually taking off, I'm not going to jeopardize my baby. No, I'm not going to jeopardize my baby.
I meant more like as they're doing like cart service. You're like, no, I'm going. I gotta go.
Right. Changing a diaper on a plane, it is a very small confined space, but it's fine. They have changing tables on every single plane we've ever been in. Maybe not in every bathroom. You'll see a little sign, a little icon on the bathroom to signify it's for changing.
It's usually above the toilet, comes down with a latch bar. If you're flying internationally, you might be given a harness.
Like a baby seat belt. It pretty much attaches to your seat belt and then goes around their waist. I don't know how effective it actually is, but if you can afford to buy another seat and fly with a car seat, it is the safest way, and it will most likely make the trip smoother.
It's more convenient for naps. It's convenient for letting them play.
We've done, I believe, 4 flights that way.
It's 4 international flights. Over a certain amount of hours, you can have a bassinet.
So we've done this 2 times. It's on overnight or really long flights. These were roughly 8 to 9 hour flights from Florida to England. The problem is It is quite small, so it worked when Callie
Under
was
one.
roughly 5 and 6-ish months. I don't know if she
But
would
they
fit it
say it
now.
can go to 35 pounds, and she's 20 pounds right now, and she would be flipping, freaking out, us shoving her in a tombstone.
And not everyone's baby, a coffin, not everyone's baby will sleep in something like that.
Also, it was great when she did fall asleep, but as soon as the seatbelt sign or turbulence begins, the flight attendant will come over and say, I'm sorry, you need to take her out and you need to strap her onto you.
But even if you didn't
she just fell asleep.
Even if you didn't think your baby would sleep in it, if you thought maybe they were in that sit-up age or would sit and play, like if they're maybe 6 to 9 months,
they could still use their toys. They could still like kind of bop around in there. It's still a nice place to have extra hands.
Right.
Well, that wrapped things up.
We just threw a lot at you, and it might sound a little intimidating, but really our number one piece of advice
is just do it.
If you want to go somewhere, just do it, book it, you'll manage.
You'll learn as you go. You'll get better each time. Our first time, I don't even remember, but we wrote so many notes down so that each flight could get a little better.
And we always had 2 of us and 1 baby. Eventually, there could be more babies.
We're not outnumbered yet, but 2 against 1 is pretty deal.
Yeah, so thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have other questions or things that you want us to make videos about. We want to do it. So thanks for watching.
Bye.
See ya.